And Violet, Top Gun Berlin, landed for just long enough last week to go behind the scenes of the most technically advanced concert ever staged.
1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, England, and welcome to Main Road Football Stadium, home of the Light Blues Manchester City. Today it's home to a different kind of team, the road crew of keyboard wizard Michel Jarre, who's touring Europe this autumn, playing with a cast of thousands to an audience of millions.
A major tour like this one is planned like a military operation. Like a small army, they bring their own catering, security and power. They used enough scaffolding to cover the Houses of Parliament and Big Ben. No wonder he's worn out. Michel Jarre's already directing operations to the stage crew and the band, who are getting ready for the sound check. It takes 4 days to build the set, but things only really come together in the last 24 hours before the performance.
Much of the music is stored electronically on sequencers. Sequencers are computer-controlled keyboards. They talk to each other using a musical instrument digital interface, otherwise known as MIDI.
3 hours before the gates are due to open, and they're on their final run-through for sound. There was a rehearsal last night just for lighting, but because of the complexity of the show, the sound check can take longer than the event itself.
N'oubliez pas le compte, s'il vous plaît. On va faire le prochain maintenant.
I managed to snatch a few seconds with the man responsible for the tour's smooth running, technical coordinator Simon Ransom.
This is where we control and process most of the visual effects of the show. Control for lights, sound, slides, all that sort of stuff is done from the 2 towers. And then above us we have the lasers, the slide projectors, a lot of specialist lighting effects that we use for throwing images out against the stage and against the screens that we have up there.
The show relies on MIDI. Each component of the show uses the time code of the MIDI signal as a reference point. So here's the time code, 10 hours, 7 minutes, 54 seconds, and the frames keep going round. The frame's a 25th of a second. So if the drummer decides to hit the cymbal now, then that might trigger off laser animations or fireworks or a sequencer. The musicians on stage play live on top of all the pre-arranged events, and that's the crux of it. All everybody else has to do is follow their cue.
The gates are about to open. I've just got time to ask Michel what he thinks about the people who say that computers are killing music.
They're wrong because the emotions or lack of emotion is not the responsibility of the instrument, but the responsibility of the guy behind the instrument anyway, whatever it is, a tam-tam or a piano or a computer. The main difference between electronics and acoustics is the fact that with electronics you can be your own craftsman, you can shape your own sound, you can create your own sounds exactly like a painter is able to create colors. I mean, most of the time in rock concert outdoor, I mean, the performer is as big as an ant on a stage and people can hardly see or hear anything. And in that case, I try to start from my music as a musician and then to try to compose the visual track. Like when you are doing a movie, you do the soundtrack. In my case, I make the music and then I try to compose the visual track.
It's just like my garden on Bonfire Night. Michel Jarre's European tour finishes in his hometown of Lyon in France on October the 12th.